We're going to have another testimony of God's provision, so I'd like Josh Bennett to come back up to the front. Josh and his wife Jess and their two kids, Charlie and Ruth, we just saw welcomed into membership, and you saw Jess leading one of our songs earlier. They've been with us the past couple of months and serving as Ascension Fellows. So what is an Ascension Fellow and why are you here?
Yeah, thank you all. Want me to hold it? Thanks. Yeah, so like the short answer, there's a long answer. If you'd like it sometime, we can tell you. But the short answer is that we are here to train for ministry. It's both Jess and I's hope to be ordained in the Anglican Church and to serve as pastors. And so our hope of being here is to, that what all we learned in seminary would become much more practical and real while we serve here amongst you.
So in terms of actually coming to Ascension, where was God in this process, would you say?
So Jess and I we spent the last 3 years getting our Master's of Divinity at Trinity School for Ministry and serving at my wife's home church, Allegheny Center Alliance Church, as youth ministers. And that whole time, for 3-4 years, we've been praying now, asking God for clarity on what's next for us. We've only ever seen like one step ahead of us, and so as we were in school and as we were wrestling through all of this, we just really didn't know what was next. We didn't even know what denomination we were going to be necessarily a part of, and so we were just praying and praying and praying, and yeah, the Lord really answered our prayers. But
okay, last question. So you're sensing this call from God, and you're thinking about coming to Ascension, and then this global pandemic hits, and everything seems to shut down. How did that impact your decision making?
So in March, well, going back even further, in January and even earlier than that, we had started having conversations with my wife's home church, which was literally her like home church. Her dad is on staff, her aunt is on staff, her family all attends. And we really started to feel like the Lord was calling us to serve there at a full-time capacity once we were graduated and to be ordained through that denomination. And when the pandemic hit, they literally turned to us and said, we just can't promise you anything. We can't offer health care, we can't offer a job. So, we were kind of felt afraid. We were very afraid. In the background, we had been talking with Jonathan and Marilyn about this position, and we really expected that they were going to turn to us and say the exact same thing. Hey, a pandemic just started. We're not hiring anyone right now. We're really sorry. We'll stay in touch. And they didn't. They turned to us and said, we'd still love to have you if you'd like to be here. And when I say like we were afraid, like I was already doing like plan B of like, I could apply at Home Depot or like at a Panera Bread. I don't know. Like we just got to make money. We got to like pay the bills. We have 2 little kids. It was really a test of our patience and our like patience in the Lord and our anxiety. And I think what's really cool is that it's not just the reason I wanted to share this when Jonathan asked if I'd like to share about the Lord providing is because it wasn't just provision of like a job or money. It was really the answer to a lot, like 4 years of prayer, of direction. The Lord closed one door and opened another and made it very clear that this is where we're supposed to be, that this is like what we're supposed to be doing right now. And I think honestly, even more than a job, that's what Jess and I are so grateful for, is the Lord's provision of clarity in this season.
Thank you so much, Josh. And just a word about God's provision, because you might be thinking, well, how did we manage to put this all together? And actually, it's a partnership. It's a partnership between our diocese. It's a partnership, some support raising that Josh and Jess are doing, and some of the More Than Stones money that was given, you remember, was earmarked. This is our capital campaign. Was earmarked for ministry and mission and new life. And so we're using a small part of that also to help. So lots of things have come together in terms of God's provision. So thank you, Josh, and be assured of our prayers and our love.